welcome to Mafter UK. I'm in swim 34, which is the old boathouse, which is this building behind me now, and there's a concrete slab. You'll see a lot more of that later. I've got my two-man bivvy. Not a lot of bivvy space on this place, however there are 34 pegs. The lake does go around the corner. I'll show you a little bit about that later when I'm having a walk around later. There's currently 3 fishermen on, so that's where we are. Whereabouts am I in the country? Well, there's the closest big town to us, it would be Kendal, and that's probably about 6 miles away, maybe 5 miles away. Back down that way, or is it that way? So yeah, let me get set up. I've had a check around with a bait boat. I'll show you that now. The average depth is around about 3 foot, 3 foot 6 inches while I was picking up, 3 foot 2 closer in. Not too much weed, surprisingly. My radar was showing a very little weed, especially right out in front of me. Tactics, I'm going to go on bottom bapes on one rod, and I'm going to go on one bright pop-up around the corner here. Now, what I have noticed was, fish size. I think they go up to about £20 on here. They're not huge fish in here, but I'm not here for the big girls. That's absolutely, that's not what it's about for me. So this is an absolutely gorgeous lake. I'm just glad to have 24 hours. I'll go on about the rules and what you can and what you can't do later. But yeah, this is a really nice place, and I'm looking forward to this session. I do have about 30 hours to fish here, and I'll explain why it's 30 hours later. Anyway, enough waffle. Let's get the rods in the water. Let's get some fishing done. Well, that didn't take long, did it? My first location is being cleaned out as we speak. Lovely. However, in the middle of the lake here, just about here, that's where my second bait is. I did see some carp cruising by earlier with their backs out of the water, and I think I can see one right now, but the camera won't pick it up. But yes, so definitely fishing here, which is good news. However, it is starting to rain as well, so I knew it was going to rain this weekend. Not particularly too bothered about that. However, my bivvy, it is a JRC SR1 or something like that. I'm not quite sure. I'll put the name on the screen. It's a lot of ventilation in it. The only reason I brought it really was because of the bug netting for later. I'm not sure how bad the bugs are here at night, but anyway, I brought JRC. Yeah, JRC. Yeah, it's all right. It's okay. You've got to have the outer skin on it because of all the mesh on the inside. I'll show you in a bit. So there, if you can see all these mesh panels, and that's the outer skin. So without the outer skin, you're screwed. So it's all right. I mean, when in France, when it's really nice weather, you just roll it back, and you're staring at the stars. So it's quite nice. And you just roll. You just leave the outer attached, but you just fold it behind you. And then if it does change quickly, you just jump out and just clip it back out again very, very quickly. So the bivvy's okay. I got it off Mr. P many moons ago. It's a 2-manner, not too bad to put up at all actually. It's a strange system. It has this centre bar that goes all the way from front to back, which is like the old camping style tent bar. Anyway, currently raining, both rods are out. You're only allowed 2 rods here. Like I say, let me get a beer on, and then I'll explain a little bit more about this place, some of the rules, and what we've got going on. One of the good things about fishing this place, it's absolutely deadly quiet. There's no motorway traffic, which is really nice, but the same things still happen. We've got swans in shallow water. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how the swans, if they find my bait, wipe me out. Now the coots have already found that, so on my right hand rod there's going to be nothing on that within the hour, so nothing I can do about that. It is what it is. But I'm just hoping to see a few more signs. Like I said earlier, I have seen some fish. Well, I know I'm pretty much in a silhouette, and you can't really see me very well, but that is my view from the bivvy, which is quite nice actually. There is a little roof on the wall there, but it's not really practical. It's not something you can really hide under. It's more aesthetic than it is anything else. Yeah, right, okay. What's unusual about this place? Well, the unusual thing about it is that despite there being 30 pegs, and you can have, well, 34 pegs, and you can have 34 fishermen fishing here at the same time, that wouldn't give you a lot of water if it was full. You are only allowed 5 bivvies on here of an evening, so there is a maximum of 5 bivvies. You can book any time as long as it's within 3 days of you attending, but you can only do 1 night. Bust. You can't do 2, so it's either a Friday night or a Saturday night, but you certainly can't do multiple nights. And I do find that a bit weird, and I didn't really know that before I joined. And this isn't the only lake. There's 4 carp lakes that you can fish, and to be fair, they're all the same rule. So there's only 2 that you can put bivvies on. One of the lakes has 2 bivvy spots, and that's the only place you can bivvy up. So there's only 2 locations, and this one has 5, but you can pick any of the 34 that you want to fish. So that's one of the strange things about this place. But it's not a massive joining fee, so you've only got, if I was to fish here 3 sessions, 3 24-hour sessions, money back and some change, so you know it's not mad money. So and to fish in a water which is as quiet as this and as lovely as this, I can quite easily see myself doing 4 sessions of, 4 days in a year here, easy. So I don't have a problem. I know the head of the carp aren't that big, but they are 20s in here, and a 20 is a good fish, and it shouldn't be snubbed at, So I'm quite happy. with what I've got for the money that I've paid. The club that I've joined is called Wadder. I will put the name up here so as you can see exactly what it is. And yeah, I'm liking it. I do like it here. I don't have any problems at all. I don't know about the mozzies yet. We'll soon find out. Yes, it's raining. It's gonna. It's the Lake District. What do you expect? So yeah. I don't know what else I can say. One day at a time. Sweet Jesus.
One day at a time, sweet Jesus. That's all I'm asking from you.
Rain's not set to stay in, but if it does, it doesn't matter. The only problem you do have here, mind, that if it rains a considerable amount, I've literally got 6, 7 or 8 inches of water this lake can fill up before I start getting flooded. So if it is torrential rain or a lot of rain, yeah, there is a potential for you to be washed out of here. So you do have to be careful and be mindful of the weather. Rain's getting a bit heavier now. I would actually sit where you are, but to get that shot and me in, and I put the camera where I am, and I've just moved over here to sit here. But yeah, I do like it, I must admit. The only problem I've got is I've left my water in the car, so I can't make a brew right now. So at some point I'm going to have to go back to the car and get my water. I'm using DNA baits this weekend. I've used up all my hinders, so I can't use that. I can't say that I'm using it, and you know me, I won't say I'm using hinders bait if I'm not using it. So I am using DNA baits. I bought quite a considerable amount of that some time ago. It's been in the freezer. It's freezer baits, and I took it out for the session because I've got no other bait left. And it was all for France last year, but it's been in the freezer for a year, so I've got to get it gone, to be fair. I mean, it probably doesn't make any difference to it, but it's time for it to go. And just like anything else, once you've defrosted it, it doesn't if I take any of it home and refreeze it again, the clock doesn't start again. It means that when I undefrost it and use it again, I've got a very short time using the bait. So although it is frozen baits and you can refreeze it, it's not probably a good idea to do that. But with the cost of it, you know, that's an awful lot of money. The only trouble with this bivvy, it's not really designed for any bad weather, and so the rain likes to come in. So I'm just going to make sure I don't, just pulling the ground sheet back a little bit. I put the ground sheet down just purely for bugs. Anyway, time to kick back, relax, listen to the rain, may even just fall asleep. Why did I bring the bait boat? Do you need a bait boat for here? Well, the answer is no, not really. You don't need a bait boat. The reason I brought it was, again, I may have already said that it is purely and simply just so I could get a feel for what's on the ground, the depths and everything, and it does average around about 3 foot. Where'd you go, you little frog hopper? There he is. Ooh, gone. Well, the sun has come out after that shower. I was bivvy bound and I didn't have any water, so I've had to wait till the rain to stop to bring me rods in again to go get me water and come back. So that's a bloody pain. My own fault, but there you go. There's plenty of fizzing going on in and around my bait, so I'm quite happy about that. I've had to move my baits from over there because the diving ducks were just driving me insane. They just found it almost immediately and then just started cleaning me out. So that's what I've done. Yeah. So there you go. That's part of the way it goes, isn't it? Now, I did see earlier the carp cruising on, like I said, but I can't see any more at the moment. But I might just change to pop-ups because the rods that I brought in, it's quite chaffy. It's a lot of leaves and a lot down there. So yeah, I'm definitely going to leave my right-hand rod for now. There's too much going on and around it. They're definitely on my baits on my left-hand rod. My right-hand rod, I brought it in, I've pub chucked it, so I don't know what it's on at the moment, but I think I definitely will put a pop-up on that, just get it off that ground a little bit, you know, just a little. the lake is a lot bigger than you think it is. It goes around there to a special pegs where they've got set up for disabled people as well. So that's really, really good. You can still fish them. As far as I'm aware, there's no issues with fishing on a disabled peg. Only if there's no disabled pegs left and a disabled person comes along. Fair enough. This is an excellent peg, but your bivvy sites are very small, so you can't really get away with a two-manner. In most places it's literally a one-man bivvy, and they're not ideal, so they're not beautiful, you know, crafted pegs. They are what they are, and I'll show you later. You'll see what I mean. I mean, there's a few positions over there where just absolutely perfect for my hammock, and some of you may know that I go hammock hanging too, so I'll go away at weekends and do a bit of bushcrafting and some hammocks, and over along that bank over there is absolutely perfect for it. Now they do have like no tents but bivvies only fishing rule, which is fair shout, but I think hammocks are different. I don't think hammocks come under tents, do they? It's tarpaulin, isn't it? So I'll have to ask before I do it, just to make sure. But yeah, this place is awesome. I really, really, really like it. Bit of fizzing going on there. Definitely something feeding in and around my baits, 100%. Fish. We're not going to break any records, but that's a good hook. That's a good hook. But I'll take that.
Oh dear, how sad, never mind.
It's back. Slime balls. That was an angry fish. It didn't like it out there. Anyway, rather than mess around, I put it straight back in. I wasn't messing around with it. Horrible thing. Bloody slime ball. Well, still a fish. So both baits now are on XL pop-ups. Let's see how we get on with that, because that was a good return very quickly, so let's see how we get on. even if it was a bream. So just to complete dinner, a small glass of bourbon, not in a coffee this time, straight as it comes. This is the Aldi version, it is the budget stuff. It is called Samuel Joe's. Now if you're into your bourbons, this is okay. You pay £13 for it and it's okay. Now if you go to some of the other Aston places like that, their cheap bourbon doesn't come close to this. So I always say it, and I do mean it, Aldi do some good stuff and you've got to keep your eyes open for it. So bottoms up everyone. Not many other places I would rather be right now. Very nice indeed. I'm keeping my voice down on this one because there's a chappie just 2 swims away, so I've got to be careful not to disturb him. He doesn't want to hear me meow meow meow, does he? Let's hope the rain stays off. I wonder what time the mosquitoes come out. I've got some proper insect repellent, no silly little bug machines, Chris, that just attract them. There's one thing I am going to do. That middle rod, my right hand rod has been out there all day and I've not had a single knock. Despite all the fizzing and all the feeding that's going on around my baits, I've had nothing, even with the other pop-up. So what I may do, on the advice of the other chap, is drop this one, my right hand rod, right into the margin, and that's what I'm advised to do. So that's what I probably will do. I keep looking behind me because there's a squirrel. It's only a grey one, but a tree rat behind me, and it keeps making me head turn. Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna have left hand margin, right hand margin for this evening. That's how I'm gonna play it. Just gotta be careful. Them diving ducks, they certainly get on your bait. They certainly get on your bait here. But as a first experience for this lake, first time fishing it, you know, you've got to learn your lake. You've got to learn where you are with it. You've got to learn the spots, find your spots. Yeah, I quite like it. Quite like it. And I've got a choice of 4 others. No, for a day sesh. Not that I do many of those, but because this is only half an hour away, I can do that. It's half an hour drive. You know, Clearwater is 11 minutes. This one's, you know, the next distance further on. It's easy to get to. Yeah.
We're on the blog.
We are, yeah. Say hello.
Hello.
Yeah, our fishing chat with Chris. Chris is doing much better than me, haven't you? I've got 1 bream and you've had 2 out of 2 fish. And
I've had 2 landed out of 3 runs.
oh yeah. Yeah, well done you. Not me.
Yeah, but
I'm not doing well.
The one I lost was cut off in the weed, so there was nothing I could do about it anyway. So.
No. This place is a bit choddy, but it's not weedy. So you know, it's not too bad.
Yeah, well, this is the first time I've been here when there's actually been weed. I've never seen weed here before.
Right.
Here he comes. Oh man.
How you doing, Mark? You okay, mate?
Yeah, not bad at all, buddy. How's you?
Oh, I'm all right, mate. I'm okay. I'm not doing so well, but we're fishing, aren't we? Got a bream.
Yeah.
There's Mark.
Bream.
Yeah, so yep, happy enough. Yeah, no, it's so peaceful here. I've got to keep quiet because you can't hear anything. There's no ambient noise. There's no traffic. There's no nothing. So every single sound is amplified 10 times. So got to try.
This is a cracking little venue, but the only thing is there's a dual carriageway about 50 yards behind us.
Yeah, I heard it on Mark's video when I watched his video just a minute ago. You sent a little video, didn't you? Yeah, yeah. Well, and it sounded like he was fishing from your car.
Just behind the track.
Dare I speak too soon? But I've not been mozzified. There doesn't appear to be a lot. I haven't had to put anything on yet, which is quite unusual. I would have thought I would have been. Now's the time. I would have thought I'd have been inundated with mozzies, but it doesn't appear to be the case. That's really good news. Come on. I hope the rain doesn't come first thing in the morning. I hope it gives me a bit of time just to get some fresh baits out. I've got plenty of time between now and then to think of what I'm going to do, but it'd be nice to be able to get your baits out, get everything squared away just before it all starts coming. I'm going to sit out here as long as I can before I become bivvy bound, because I want to enjoy as much of this lake as I possibly can. Terrific. Quite a spooky little sight down there if I look right down ahead of the valley. You can see the mist forming over the lower part of the lake, or just beyond it. Really, really weird. Yeah, quite a thing. Oh, ducks moving through. I'm going to be moving into the bivvy soon. It's getting quite dark. The camera doesn't show that, but it is getting quite dark now. Well, I have moved into my bivvy now. This is me for the evening. It's thundering out there and it's just started to rain, so probably good timing. It is really warm. And I've also dropped the door on the mozzie net as well, just to make sure that I don't get mozzied out. I haven't seen any. There's none. Doesn't appear to be any here, so I may get away with it. But it's just too warm. I've even taken my usual green top off just to deal with it. Now my light, this little thing here. Well, let me turn that down. In fact, let's turn it off. This light here, you may have seen it a few times. It's charging with a power pack. I've mentioned it a few times already now, but if you put it on full blast like that, it will only last 4 hours max. If, however, you turn that down and you do that, ambient light, so it's only 50% of the light, you can't really see it very well, but there's only half of the light actually working. And it lasts for 500 hours. So if you turn it up, yeah, you're going to use more power. If you turn it 360 light, yeah, again, more power. But as long as you've got a decent power pack, you'll be fine. This is a Rav power pack. If you're going to buy power packs, you can get various different types. You can get really budget ones, but the beauty of it is that if you get a decent one, like Rav Power is a decent make, then you know that you're getting quality. I mean, you only got to feel the weight of this thing to know that unless it's full of sand, which some of them are, then you're going to get, you know, something worth having. Now if you do want a lot of light in your bivvy and you use this light, then you do definitely need a power pack to give you the power that you need to keep going. So you do need something like this to keep you going throughout the night. So I will feed directly from this power pack whilst I've got my light on 360. That's my intention. And it's only while I'm in here doing whatever I'm doing. It's normally it's just on ambient, but because I'm currently sat here doing nout, then I will need 360 light. So my power pack will charge that all that time. So I've got a couple of tins left. I'll sit back, chillax, relax, listen to the thunder and enjoy myself. I do have my the light here, which is the Ridge Monkey. You can either have red, green or back to white. So there we are, that's me set for the evening. This bivvy keep me as cool as it possibly can, hence why I brought it anyhow. I did actually bring two bivvies with me. I brought this one and the small one, the one that Andy P lent me about 12 months ago that I still haven't given back yet. He knows. And I was in two minds whether to use this one or the smaller one, and it was because I didn't have a lot of room on some of the swims. But when I came to this swim I thought, yeah, I'll have this one. I could see fish. It made perfect sense to use this one. So, you know, fish where the fish are, so I did, and there you go. Car, my ST, Ford Focus ST. I've said it's useless for fishing in the past. I think the first time I showed my car I said it was useless for fishing. I take that back, because this weekend I've got two bivvies, my bed, my chair, my bait boat and everything I brought with me, and it fits in that car with no problem whatsoever. No problem whatsoever. So I take it back. The ST is absolutely fine for fishing. There's loads of room when you fold the seats down. So I take it back. 12:04. You weren't getting off there, buddy, were you? There we go. £10 common. There we go. £10 common. More than happy with that. Well chuffed. Well chuffed. It's pouring down. Let's get them back in quickly. £10 common. Yes. There you go. It is 2 o'clock in the morning, and that was a £10 common, and I'm well chuffed with that. Absolutely well chuffed. So I've definitely got, this isn't a blank for me. That bream was a kickstart, but yeah, I got my carp. I'm well chuffed, well chuffed. And what a fight. That was a long, thin carp. I actually thought it was a grassy when I first seen it, but it's not, obviously. But yeah, I'm well chuffed with that, well chuffed. Might only weigh £10, and I might got a bit wet out in the rain. Getting that, I don't care. It's about the fishing to me. It's not always about how big the fish are. I always say it, but I always mean it. It's the experience of doing it. The excitement of the alarm going off when you're in your pit and getting up and getting to it before it snags up or something. That moment of sheer panic and excitement, and you don't know what you're getting. And I have to say, that again was caught on a XO pop-up. So a Hinder's XO pop-up. They probably one of my most successful pop-ups that I've used. They just seem to work. The pink and white, I don't know, they just seem to work for me. So most of my fish I catch are usually caught on XO pop-ups. So you know, I'm well chuffed, well chuffed. It was 12.6, 12.4, but that was in the net. So I've knocked it down to 10. It might be a little bit more than that. It may be 10 plus a little bit, but it doesn't matter. What's important is I've got the fish out. Well, good morning. Yes, a successful evening. Just the one carp, but one will do. There was a few boshes last night, and they were definitely active last night, and you may just be able to see the ripples in the water over there. I don't know if you can or not, but one's just boshed out on one of the spots I was fishing yesterday. I have one in the margin where I caught the fish yesterday, and I've put my other rod back over here where I was completely wiped out with the swans, because that was where I caught my other fish yesterday. So the two margins has produced on this swim. So it would be very foolish of me to fish anywhere else. The only reason I took it out of there yesterday was purely and simply because the swans and ducks and every other bloody thing was diving on it. So if it happens again, it happens again, but at least I get that chance in the water now. Breakfast is served. And thank you to that guy who gave me the tips for where to fish. Do appreciate that. That's what it's all about, sharing. And I'll do the same when I leave too. Although I won't say one of the margins, because he did say I shouldn't have told you that. But he did. And I respect that, and I won't show you that spot. Oh yeah, something a bit more carpy for you. It looking like the sun might actually come out. That would be fantastic if it did, because it forecast rain all day today. So I'm looking at this blue sky coming over, and I'm thinking, awesome, let's bring it on. Right, I've been here 24 hours now. What have I learned? Well, margins, yes. Particle baits, no. This isn't a particle bait water. You just end up feeding all the silverfish. If I was to come here again, what would I do different? I would definitely bring 15mm boilies. I wouldn't bring 10mm here. Everything can eat 10mm, but not everything can chomp into the 15mm. I would probably bring something like a high coloured bait, maybe even white baits. I don't know, but definitely something like Hinder's Tutti Frutti, something like that, something really bright. I'd definitely give that a try. Bigger boilies, brighter colours. No particles. I don't know, I mean, the trouble is with using sweet corn or anything like that, it does feed the smaller fish, and you will end up with the bream and tension alike. So that's probably what I would do. I would just focus my baits completely onto boilies, make them bright, and fish pop-ups. That's what I've learned in 24 hours. I'm not saying that's how this water fishes. I could be completely wrong. I tried the high-vis pop-ups, and boom, there you go. I really hope that sun comes out. I really hope this is a gorgeous day, because there would be nothing better than sitting here drying all my gear out on a gorgeous Sunday afternoon or morning. It would be awesome. I would stay the full length of the day. And I think that is one of the problems with this one night thing. If you do a Friday night, you can stay all the way until last light Saturday. So if you wanted this peg on Saturday morning, you technically can't fish it until mate is left, and if he stays until sundown, which he's perfectly allowed to, then you fish somewhere else. So, and then when he leaves, that's that swim then not used. So I don't know. The one night rule is a bit weird. I must admit, that is a bit weird. Usually it's 2 max, isn't it? But 1? Once the swim's used on either Friday or Saturday, it's used. Nobody can go in it anyhow, so you might as well let them have it for 2 nights, because nobody can fish it anyhow. You're not going to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning and leave your swim, are you? I turned up here this time yesterday. I'm not going now, because I have every right to stay until later. So you might as well have 2 nights. I could have come Friday night instead and had 2 nights here. That would have been better. I don't get it. It's not a complaint. I just don't get it. Carp angling is about session fishing for me, and I like the fact that you can come here low kit, come in for the day and spend the day on the bank here fishing, and this is an absolute amazing place. And although I've said not so long ago that 24-hour day fishing isn't for me, I could quite happily do it here. I could come here early doors in the morning and just do a day's fish and come home and leave at night. I could do that here because I think this place is fantastic. The sea swims along here are just about as wild and natural as you can possibly get at Carp Lake. I'll have to walk you around and show you later, but I just think I think it's fantastic. I really do. So I think what I'm going to do is have another 5, 10, 15 minutes here, chilling out. Then I'm going to start the pack down, and then I'm going to move right next to the car, which is literally 50 meters from the car. And when the rain does come in this afternoon, I can bug out quickly, and then I'm not really got all my gear soaking wet through. Coming up in the next few weeks, well, next weekend, next Saturday, I'm actually walking. I'm doing, I'm not going to say which mountain I'm doing in case Andy P watches this, because I want to keep it a surprise for him what hill walking up. But the following weekend is a full weekend and we're doing Scarfell. So next week will be a little bit of a leg stretcher, just get ourselves back in it. I did Helvellyn not so long ago, 2 weeks ago it was upon Helvellyn. And yeah, did Helvellyn, we'll go and do Scarfell in a couple of weeks and then get an intermediate one in next week. So that's the plan. So there won't be fishing for a couple of weeks. It'll be some hill walking and hiking. So the next thing you should see on this video is me in the new location, and of course you'll be able to see the other side of the lake as well. So you'll be able to get a full picture of how this place looks. Okay, catch you in a bit. So the rain is definitely coming. We're both packing up. Andrew, how you doing, mate?
Good, good.
Nice to meet you. Andrew
you.
has seen me on YouTube before, but has just popped in this morning and does short sessions. You know, exactly the same thing I was talking about earlier on. So what do you think to this place, Andrew?
Awesome, love it, absolutely love it. Yeah.
It's
one of the favourite waters.
I think it's probably one of the best waters, best looking waters and natural looking that I've seen for quite some time, don't you?
Yeah, beautiful.
So how often do you fish here, mate?
Try and get it down, well, when I can, once or twice a week if I can. It's been a bit busy at work, whatever, so get it once a week if I can.
Work takes over a bit, doesn't it?
Unfortunately, it pays the bills, doesn't it?
Well, we're going to have to cut that short.
Yeah, we're going to have to because we're going to get wet.
Good to meet you, Andrew.
See you again.
Yeah,
see you, buddy. I look forward to seeing you.
Yeah,
see you later.
and you'll be on it.
Have a good. My missus will be chuffed. See you later.
See you later, mate.
See you later, mate.
Nice one. So here we are on the other side of the lake. Now, I did say it was an L shape, but actually it's a T shape. It's a T-shaped lake, not an L shape. And I'll show you a bit more at the moment. But the reason I've come around is because it was pouring down, as you've seen, as we were saying hello to Andrew. And I seen a lad fishing here a couple of days ago, yesterday, sorry, morning, and he had a couple off that end there. So my car is just literally 50 feet away over there, across the other side of the road, which is it's not a busy road as such, but it's not dead quiet. Yep, let's have a look at the lake. What else we've got. I am actually in a disabled swim. As I said earlier, the disabled people have priority on these swims. So starting at the far end of the lake, then you've got some lily pads over there. One of my rods is actually I've just placed in front of those lily pads there, and all along there, 1, 2, 3. Oh, surface over there. There's 3 disabled pegs, little island. The distance from here to there is probably about 75, 50 meters at most, nothing major. And as we pan down across the lake, when we get to this gap here, that is where I was fishing, in that end of the T section, bottom of the T section through there. and we keep panning round, and the far distance lake, probably 200 meters to that far end, maybe 170, not quite sure. And then we come on to some more disabled bays, here, and the one I'm in now. So as you can see, this is a very nice lake, and there's plenty of opportunities to fish it. Despite this being a new lake, I have actually already asked if I can film, and they said yes. So I won't have any dramas like the last bunch. Cash squirrel going for a walk. Yeah, it's been and is an awesome lake, and despite the size of the fish, then it doesn't really make anything to make any difference to me. They do go up to £20, and a £20 fish is a bloody good fish. There's a fish cruising right past in front of me now, right in front of me. Not a big one, but he's there. Well, unless I catch anything, the next time this camera goes on will be the farewell. So let's just see how we go, and I'll catch up with you shortly. Well, that completes my session on this lake, and I've got to say I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Just a moment, there's a car coming by. Yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. What a terrific place, and I shall be coming back. So after that, what do we end up with? One £10 common and one slimy bream. I ain't complaining, and what I've got to do before I disappear, it's mandatory for everyone to complete a catch report. And what they've done, they've put a little scan sign there to make sure that you can do that easily as well. So it's quite, you know, you're not messing around. You can just log on to that, do what you got to do. So in the meantime, remember what I said, next couple of weeks now we're going to be up on top of the hills. We're going to be doing the hill next week, and then followed by Scarfell. That will be a video, and until then, stay safe everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. And thank you very much for watching this, and thank you Andrew for coming over and say hi. Bye bye.